Making seven figures today is like making the new six figures. I'll show you the life that $1 million gets you today. Yep, you've now got to earn $1 million a year just to have the equivalent of a 100K salary from not that long ago. Today, you need 50K just to survive. And at that salary, your housing would be pretty standard, and I doubt that you could even get enough fresh, healthy food at 50K per year. You need 100K today to just sort of exist, and perhaps that's if you're single and you're near the coasts or you're married without children. For fun, I guess you could stay home and smoke meats or something. I mean, you could enjoy some simple trips. You could do some fulfilling things in life. Today, really, you need 200K for a life with travel and some dining out. And really, you couldn't even like ball out on your vacations. On 200K, you're gonna balk at $500 a night for a resort. You're staying at like the Comfort Inn rather than a resort. Not that that's some awful life, but at 200K of income, you can usually do, some discretionary spending. At 300K, in a lot of places, that's what a full family needs. A household with kids in order to live a little bit if you're in an urban area. So that's a combined income, 300K, both spouses, household income. If you make 450K today, right now you're able to travel pretty well, but you're probably flying coach more than first class. You may or may not be paying to relax in the airline lounge before your flight, but you're staying in some comfy hotels. And you could also say, buy a horse if that's what you're into. At 750K, you can fly first class every time. If you want to, you might own a nice boat, or you might do your game hunting in Africa. Now you can afford an Everest climb. You can do some substantial charitable giving at this level. You really need to make $1 million a year today to live all out, eat well, fly first class, travel well, and make time to exercise. But you're still flying commercial on a $1 million salary. You're not flying private. You don't own a yacht or a rare art collection on $1 million, but maybe a collection of vintage cars. You can rent a yacht for a day. If $1 million hasn't bought you time to cook, you can afford an executive chef so that you don't have to eat restaurant food. But you could do all those things on 100K just a couple generations ago, and this is why what used to be a six-figure lifestyle is now a seven-figure lifestyle. That's income. I'll talk net worth shortly, but whatever you do, at any income level, 50K a year, up to $1 million a year, buy enough time to create meaningful relationships and to exercise. That's going to matter to both you and those that you love over the long term. People that denigrate money, they stop doing that when they realize that it can buy you time and even energy for those things. Money is an extremely useful resource. I think it's helpful, even beneficial, to say that out loud, that money is an extremely useful resource. So we talked about the income, and I'd like to thank Dr. Stephen Franson, who I heard talk about that. Let me get to net worth next, and go ahead and put a like on the video if you like how I'm breaking it down and really letting you dream a little bit. What I do here is turn those dreams into reality with strategic real estate investing. Anyone can do it, even starting out with only a little money like I did. When it comes to your net worth, there's a minimum amount, an exact dollar amount that you must have for me to say you've got it made in America today, or Canada. Net worth is the total value of all of your assets minus the total value of all of your debts. What do you think that dollar threshold is? It is $5 million. That's just a starting point, a minimum net worth that you need. Because if you invest that even decently, you could probably live off the income that $5 million creates for the rest of your life. If you aren't there yet, for most people, compound interest will not get you to the $5 million net worth mark, either until you're old or never. Only leveraging money will get you there. But yeah, after the COVID-induced wave of inflation years ago, you've got to recalibrate what you think of as a lot of money. You know, most people, I just think that they still don't get it. For example, I was on that great riverboat tour of Chicago not long ago, and gosh, it struck me how odd it was that the tour guide, he was describing the skyscrapers on either sides above us and all the architecture around us, and he said they poured millions into that project, really emphasizing that millions were spent here. I mean, today, millions can mean as little as 2 million. That's an amount so tiny for a construction project. Like, what is that? Today, that's 4 or 5 average homes would cost $2 million. Some entire counties in the Bay Area have a median home price of more than $2 million. In a high-cost area, it's $2 million today just for one mediocre home in some places. When it comes to earning annual income, earning 7 figures is like the new 6 figures. Maybe earning 6 figures is still a short-term goal to some that are like just starting out in the working world or something. But only a decade or two ago, having a 6-figure income, that was actually still aspirational and even the sign that you made it or could feel wealthy. Today, that is so far gone. The main variables on that being where you live and how many children you have. Many people pay $3,000 a month just for daycare today. Personally, I use money to buy time and for the energy to exercise and travel. I'm not into material stuff, yet I have no problem if you are, but understand, you'll never get a strong income or net worth built if you're relying on compound interest to get you there. Because with a 10% stock return, 5% inflation means that's a 50% hidden tax on your gain, plus there's capital gains tax on top of that. It just does not work. So how do you build durable wealth when you're actually young enough to fully enjoy it? You are going to need compound leverage, not compound interest. If you learn any one thing, understanding this is vital. Here's exactly what I'm talking about in this video.